Okay, first time outdoors. I don't know how it's gonna be the audio. I hope it's gonna be good. It's not really noisy. I can hear a fan, but that's not gonna be a problem. So I took you out today, just for test. Um, I do have a plan in mind for today at least, which is something unexpected. So the idea is I'm going to present you the first, the absolute founda foundations foundations you need when it comes to energy control. I've mentioned it a lot. I never said what it was, but now I feel uh, it's time to actually talk about it, because once you hear something, you really want to understand it. Yep. So we'll start with the basics. How does it work? Energy control is, in short, just the way to relax your body in a way to use your hand and everything you actually own as a whip. Why does it happen and why it's useful? Well, first of all, think about it. What other weapon, which is not, let's say, using chemical reaction or just anything else like a gun, you know what I mean? Something you can handle with a hand, manipulate it, can surpass the speed of sound. This might be able to, but I will have to train another 200 years to do so. The answer is the whip. Every single time you shoot a whip, boom, there's a loud explosion at the end. And that happens because the whip is made of very precise structure. It's made so that if you pull it like this on one end, the energy is gonna flow through the whip faster, 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 and at the end it's gonna flick. So it's gonna do something like this. If you go like that, it flicks, and the tip of my fingers, look how low energy I'm putting. I'm not using it very fast, but my fingers are actually moving very fast. So if I go like this, you see, I can do something like this. Just relax, like that. But if I now completely tense my arm, it's much slower. And that's actually the reason behind it. It's just much faster. And that's pretty much it. It's so much faster, in fact, that I've been using on every single attack. And if you learn it, as I said, your abilities will skyrocket from here to here. Double. Why? Because you will just be twice as fast. And that's pretty much what Kendo is about. You can go above accuracy, but you will get accuracy even if you don't want after some time. I didn't retrain it, but now I can. I wouldn't say every time, but with 5 tries I should be able to hit any leaf. With mediocre weather, where there is a wind, but it's not very strong, so I can actually see it. Now, since you know how it works, well, not really. It's just the idea behind it, not really how it works. So, what you need to do is make your arm just completely flat. That's what I'm telling. Every single time you play a sport when you need to be strong, precise, and fast, like tennis. I've played tennis, table tennis, a lot. I was actually pretty good, actually really good. So that's where I actually picked it up, kinda. So when you hold how's it called? A racket? A rocket in English. I think it's a rocket. So when you hold it, most people just don't tense like this. You don't. That's what people do, and that's even in school. I try to show actually the best way to hit something is this. Just complete relax, and if you hit something, just I'm using one finger. All I'm doing is manipulating the weight. Why? Because there is also another plus when it comes to energy control, which is you're not using a lot of stamina, pretty much none. It only if you're gonna get exhausted, it's mostly because of your mind. So I can get very exhausted just from doing one strike, but it's all about concentration and actually what you want to do. It's not about physical. So I'm not moving a lot. It's not in this way. It's like a chess player. Right? They do sweat a lot. Sometimes. Now, the idea is pretty much simple. So you combine both of these, right? So you're gonna relax, and then you're gonna use your weight to move the weight of this like that. So look, I'm gonna use one finger and I'm not gonna clench it. All I'm gonna do is grab it like this, very lightly, super lightly. I'm not even gonna, oh, just like this, so it's not gonna fall. I'm not gonna touch it with other fingers, and I'm not going to clench my pointing finger as well. All I'm gonna do is just see all of it with one finger. Now, how does it work? I'm telling you, when I'm hitting something, I'm not clenching it, pretty much never. Only at the exact spot when I do want to hit it. So let's say I want to cut this. There's the leaf here. How would I do it? Well, I can use a lot of power behind it, but that wouldn't be a cut. That would be pretty much, not even a slash. It would be a distraction. There's no edge, so it's like hitting it with a metal bat. You're not slashing, you're just hitting it. So, what do you do? The best way to do it is just use speed. If you use enough speed, everything can become sharp. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is just move your body. Oh, you don't understand it? Don't worry. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Maybe not with one finger because I'm gonna miss probably. So I'm not gonna hold it. All I'm gonna do is just make it stay in my arm. So that it's here. I'm not gripping it. It's very, very, very light. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna use my hand as a whip, and I just boom. You see what I'm doing? Going back like this, like you're throwing something. So you're gonna throw something like that. I'm not doing a technique right now, just so you know, because technique really just makes it look like I'm actually slashing, right? But what in reality is happening is this. So I'm just using my body, this, and trying to throw the stick like that. So if I do that, and if you put a lot of weight and actually practice a lot, you can get results like this. Completely cut. As you can see, this doesn't have an edge. It's not sharp, it's round. I can tell you. And I can cut a lot of things with this. Maybe not paper, but plants are really easy to do so. Well, you didn't see that. So, what's another thing? I would say it's more about footwork. And these are just basics, and it's really good it's just basic because that's pretty much where everything stands. Now, everyone can tell you, right, when you're building a pyramid, the base is the biggest. It's not really about that. It's not the base is the biggest. You don't really need the base. It's pointless. What you need is to actually advance the base to become improvement. So it doesn't matter how big it is. I can just tell you to grab a stick, and that's the base of Kendo. Have a stick. With this idea alone, you can go up, so you can actually build. I would say it's more actually the reverse pyramid. So it's not like this. You don't need a lot of groundwork or anything with this. Just reverse it. So you have actually a little idea, but the higher you go, the more expanding it. It is like programming. Programming is a very good presentation of this. You start with, I don't know, let's say Python, you have no idea, and you go up, and then you learn Python, you're like, I'm gonna kill myself, then you go up, and then you go, okay, I'm done with Python, I don't want to do it anymore, and then you go to JavaScript, and you want to kill yourself even more, so then you lose JavaScript, you go to C#, you want to kill yourself, just like Python, and then you go up, back to Python, but you're better at Python, so you're advanced in Python, so you're actually better at Python, you get a job, and you don't. And after you get a job, you actually learn, Python is not enough, so I'm gonna actually learn JavaScript. I know how to learn JavaScript because I learned Python. And then you're gonna go to C#, and then there you go. You're learning $500,000 in a year. So that's pretty much how you do it. The same is with this. It's just a process of pain and giving up of some things to actually be better out of it. So I had a lot of ideas in mind. I didn't actually expect them to work, but they did work, and most of them didn't. So the idea you should be getting from this is that just it's pretty much the basic idea. What I told you is the most basic idea. Relax. That's it. I'm not with every single stroke. The faster you wanna go, the less actually grip you wanna use. If you think, okay, but how can I hit tough things with this? There's a point to that. There is a point to that as well. That's what I told you. I don't know if you remember. Is when you swing, you don't use it because I said it. I think in some video before. Pretty sure. What you do is you actually want to give it the grip at the exact moment when you want to hit. What it does is that when you go faster, when you get a grip, and in that moment, you're not turning it like this. You're not doing this. I'm doing something different. At the time I'm gripping the thing, I'm gonna turn my like this, like do a flick. From this point, I'm gonna move it that fast. So I'm gonna go here. We got it. It looks pretty much the same speed because it's too fast. But if I do it, it looks like this. So I'm going here, and gripping it. And so you don't want to grip here because you get something like this. If you do it all the way, it's much faster. Does it make sense? Probably not, but it's the first time I'm explaining it. And I'm gonna get into more details pretty soon, I would say. So, there you go. The most basic idea of energy control, how I call it. This probably, I'm gonna probably change the name because it sounds so lame. Energy control. Maybe like, maybe Relfa technique. Oh. Relaxation fast technique. Relfa technique. Sounds so stupid. And I hate it. Anyway, there you go. Was it hard? I don't think so. Because that was pretty much only the base. No, not because it was the basics. It's just that I showed you a theory behind it, and you're free to explore it if you don't want to know better. Kendo is like a vast idea. You can do whatever you want. I didn't teach, no one taught me. I just did it for myself. And that's what I came up with. If you have better ideas, you can try them out. But I can tell you that this should be the base of everything. Relaxation, my friend, or friends, or who knows who.